Thought I'd give you a update on the oil breather that I did a few weeks back, should I say, months back. I've made a few changes and I'm about to make some more changes. I have since sent off and got one of these little barbs that fits, and so that's now properly in there. That's going to change in a moment, but and on the right side, you'll see that there's this weird contraption. At the top, the silver bit is a gearbox oil filter. It's a breather, and it's only the silver bit that goes into this black area here. The only problem is that it's an AN6 fitting. So what I've had to do is get an AN6 to 1/8 BSP or NPT, I can never remember which one it is, to fit inside here. Problems with the oil catch can in its current position and also its size. Let's start with the size. The size is such that I need to empty this every 1 to 2,000 kilometers. Now that might not seem like a lot or a problem, except that I can do 1,000 or 2,000 kilometers in 3 days. So it's an absolute, I'm not saying it's a ball ache. The little screws right there, you can undo it, and as long as you've got a small little cup underneath there, you can get rid of it. But the reason it's filling up so quickly is that I made the mistake, a newbie mistake, and the general consensus is you don't do this, is I followed the Harley-Davidson manual and filled the oil up to full. Now what that does is that means that the oil is close to the top. It means that there's more slop coming out of the top of the heads, which is coming down through this line into here and is filling this bad boy up. I've had to empty this 3 times and probably needs to be emptied now. I've just done the oil refresh, oil change and filter. So it probably needs to be done again, but rather than do that, I'm going to put a bigger oil catch can. But of more primary concern, or annoyance should I say, is its position. Being that this is an oil breather, hot oily gas comes out here which condenses, and you might be able to see just there a lot of black gullah gullah. And of course, if you know your Harleys, you're sitting and your leg is going through here, and the inside of my jeans is quite black. Now some might say, well, that's the Harley way, the Harley way. But no, not really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a connector here, and I'm going to run it down to where most people do. They don't always use a catch can. Sometimes they just put this on the end and then let it just vent to the atmosphere. Don't particularly want to do that, or should I say vent the oil to the atmosphere. So I'm going to go down underneath here somewhere and make a little area where I can put a catch can. The catch can is big enough, so it's almost double the size of that, and because I've actually done the correct thing and only put in 3/4 oil, it's not slopping out as much, so I should be able to get away with possibly only needing to empty the catch can once between oil changes. So what's going to go here, however, is I've got a little battery tender that clips into here. It's one of those green ones. Should I say it's got a green sticker? It did have a green sticker. I got rid of the green sticker, and it's just going to sit right there. I'll be able to sit on the actual bike and have a lead just go all the way down, through, down, and into the USB. This line here may very well end up going down the other side. I'm going to leave my options open whether or not the catch can is going to be on this side of the bike or on the right side of the bike. The reason it's taking so long is I had this idea for a oil gauge placement, but the instructions I was following was for a twin cam B, and I have since found out that this is a twin cam A, and the instructions don't work with twin cam A. We'll have a bit of a discussion on that later in possibly the next video, or maybe at the end of this video. Okay, slight change of plans. First of all, the oil can's been taken off there, and I've routed the lead, should I say the feed, underneath here. It's going through here. Now what I've done is fabbed up a plate to put it on this little mounting area underneath the bike. The change of plans is I'm not using the larger oil can because the larger oil catch can doesn't fit in this little area. So we'll get underneath here. We'll see if this is going to work or not. Old man noises are the bonus. Okay, so I'm going to need the light in here, but you can see that basically between these two, I don't know what they're called, lugs, I suppose. there's a hole here that was from the factory, and I've just made this little bracket to go in here. That will have the oil catch can. Now you can see that for me is fairly simple to get to that little bolt underneath there. I'm sorry about the camera. This is really awful. To get to the oil drain, I just undo that and it drains out. Now if you're worried about the distance between here and here, that is greater than the distance between the wheel and the swing arm up there that you can see there. So yes, I am still going to need to change it every 2,000 kilometers, but it does fit in between there. The little hose that you see there is a fuel vent. Pretty sure it is. It reeks of fuel. So I'm just going to put some blue Loctite on the end of this because, of course, it's a Harley. Cheers, bud. Oh, there's going to be a law against that one day. But till then, okay, so yeah, we've put the electrics in now. Now, let me just put this down on the handy table. Yes, we've put the electric takeoff for our USBs here, utilising the old oil catch can area. Unplug there. I've left the top screw here available so that when I want to really wash the bike, I can take this completely off. It's supposed to be waterproof. No, I don't know. The only thing that's annoying me, and I suspect it's because if you're sitting on the bike, you can see it, but if I turn it on for a moment, you'll see that I've got 13.1 volts, but it's upside down. Yeah, anyhow, that's all right. I know what it says. So with the oil in the correct place and all Loctited down there, thought what I might do is quickly talk about the differences between the twin cam and the twin cam A. The twin cam A and the twin cam B. And for that, I think we need some of this. Okay, now the next port of call, and you can see some of the parts on the table on this side, I know it's a footboard, is that I want to install a gauge because frankly I find it really quite ridiculous that in a motorcycle such as the Harley, which requires oil and needs to have good oil pressure, there is no other way other than a little red light up here that you just saw flash because of the alarm telling you that you've got problems with your oil. So the idea is you can either go with a Allen & Ness one, which puts one right here, upside down. There we go, like that. A little triangular piece of metal that comes out here. Lovely braided line goes down into the oil takeoff, which is, I believe it's this one here. Just in there. And yeah, you can pay 250 to 300 Aussie dollaroos to get one of those, or you can make it yourself. Now, I did happen to on a forum post on the V-Twin forum on a do-it-yourself $50 oil gauge, and I thought, oh, excellent, but it works only for twin cam Bs, and I did not know what type of twin cam I had. So I bought all the bits, as you can see down through here. It'll all become clearer when I actually install the gauge for real, and started the ball and the process. And the process is that you take one of the two little, what are those things called? Takeoffs right here. Take one out and put in an elbow, such as this little elbow here. Elbow goes up. However, the problem is, on a twin cam A, there is no room whatsoever between the frame and the takeoff whatsoever. I can barely get my fat finger in there. So, after a full day of trying to work it out, trying different ideas, I've decided I will do a modification so that it's not going to be coming off those. It's going to do the Allen & Ness style, where it comes off the error sensor, comes off there into a T-piece, but rather than bringing it up to the top up here, because I just think it's not right, plus I would have to buy the brackets and so forth, I'm going to put it in the position that I was going to originally put it in. Now, I know that some of you guys are all shovelhead and panhead freaks, or maybe you're not, but I've seen a lot of old school who have them mounted right here. And it is my hope, with all of these parts and a few that are not shown, that I'll be able to do that and have it sit right there. I've got all the bits and bobs needed to put it all together, except for the gauge T-piece that goes in just in here. I've got it on order because Australia. And yeah, so that's the difference between a twin cam A and a twin cam B. I believe, and I can't be too sure, but I believe that a twin cam B is for Softails and a twin cam A is for Dyners. I honestly don't know. So without further ado, I better just make sure that this hasn't actually evaporated. And thank you for watching. Ooh, yeah.